All right, I am going to explain. By the way, my name is Mike Robbins. I'm in web mapping web servers spring of 2020 amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm going to explain this program I created. It's a tutorial from the ArcGIS JavaScript library. So instead of using Leaflet to create a map from scratch, we're using ArcGIS and Esri products to kind of essentially do the same thing. And in my opinion, the uh, the foundation created with Esri products are a little bit more user friendly. Still have to know a little bit of JavaScript, but it's not necessarily as important as knowing um, a fundamental JavaScript for Leaflet. So like you can get away with not knowing everything in ArcGIS's library. Anyway, let's get started. Top, you have the HTML tag. This kind of lets the browser know that you are uploading an HTML document to the browser. Have your HTML tag that is, you know, where everything is housed. Everything under the head is different, like links to libraries, metadata about the web page you're creating, the title that displays up on the tabs section of the web page you open it in. So that is here. And it's so ArcGIS JavaScript tutorials will show up here. You see right there, ArcGIS JavaScript tutorials, ArcGIS JavaScript tutorials. Great. Yeah, some basic styling. We keep it very basic for this tutorial. If you just specify HTML, and this HTML corresponds to that HTML, so we are stylizing everything within HTML to be no padding, no margin, and a maximum height and width for the web page. So that means the HTML is going to be maximum height width, the body is going to be maximum height width, and the view div ID is going to be maximum height. So essentially, what this is saying is that the map is going to take up the whole web page when you open it. And this is within the style section within the head. So now we're done with the head. We're going to do the body element now. And we use something called a div tag. And the div tag um, essentially is for lack of a better term, is a container where you store data, visualizations, text, whatever. And here we are classifying this div tag as view div. As you see here, we stylized the view div to take up the whole page. So this div tag is going to take up the whole page. Within the So we're still within the body element of the page. We have our script tag. And everything within the script tag is going to be JavaScript. And this is where the magic happens. This is where we get to load up base maps. This is where we get to create layers and whatnot. So the first thing we have is this require function. I'm not exactly sure what the require function does, but just by using some basic deduction, it seems like we are importing some functions. So within this require function, we are going to import a function called map, and map is within Esri. And these functions are coming from this website. So we are importing functions from the ArcGIS JavaScript API. So right now the web page looks like this. There's nothing in it. That's because I commented some things out. So I'm going to uncomment map view. And when I uncomment map view, we have a base map pop out. So basically that means I'm utilizing this map view function. So if we scroll down a little bit, we have both the map and the map view functions. We're setting these a variable to each function. So the map variable is the result of the map function, and it is essentially specifying a base map we're going to use. So we're using the map function to select the base map. And the base map we are selecting is called Street Navigation Vector. So when you see here, this base map you see is called streets navigation vector. However, the map function doesn't actually display the map, it just selects the map. The map view function is what actually displays the map on your web page. And the map view needs the one of the options or the properties is container. And container is when we have to set that equal to view div. So basically that's saying we are going to display this base map within this div tag. And remember, the div tag takes up 100% of the page. So that's why you see the map extends throughout the whole web page. We are setting the base map within that view here. So base map streets navigation vector is essentially this guy right here. We are centered on these lat longs, negative 118, 34 long lat. So the one difference, the leaflet coordinates are opposite of JavaScript. So in leaflet, you have latitude first, longitude second. In ArcGIS's library, we have longitude first, latitude second. And we're at a zoom of 13. So if we want to change that, we can do a zoom of, let's call 17. So if you just want to refresh, we are zoomed in a lot closer to the, ground level. Let's just undo that. Goes back to normal. Great. Yes, and then base map toggle is another function, and that allows us to, if you're not happy with this base map, you want something different, more of a satellite image, we can toggle to another base map. And the base map, we're selecting a satellite, and we have to go up here. I'm going to uncomment this out. So I'm going to uncomment base map toggle. What happens is a widget appears here, and we are able to select between two different base maps. All right. And then in order to add that widget, we use something called view.ui.add, and that adds the widget that allows you to select between two different base maps and the location of where it goes. So it goes into the bottom right corner of the web page, and you can see here this is the bottom right corner of the page. Next, we're going to add some layers. So right now you see there's no layers on this. It's just a base map, no data, or at least no data that we are trying to put in there yet. So we are going to use something called the feature layer function, and here we're grabbing a layer from this website, and we are going to add it to our map. So let me uncomment out this, and next time you load it up, our map has layer features on it now. We have 3 features. We have parks, that's all labeled in blue, slight opacity. Then we have trails, which are the line features, and then we have the trail heads, which are the point features. And you can zoom in, zoom out. It basically extends throughout all of this region of California. So all the trails, all the parks, and all the trailheads in this section of, I guess, Los Angeles are displayed on this map. One thing that's cool about this is that we can add pop-ups to each feature, and when you select a certain feature, a pop-up will occur and display the name of the feature. So I clicked a park. The name of this park is Malibu Creek State Park, and then you can have some content within the feature. So this park is 8,142 acres large. So this is a string, and this is the actual data that's coming from the feature, and this is another string. So let's go back to our JavaScript to see how we actually displayed it like that. So let's go to the parks layer. So we use the feature layer function, added a shapefile from this URL, and we're using the outfields property to select the attributes we want from that shapefile. So we want park name, Park name was Malibu's Creek State Park. And then we want the acres. GIS acres is what it's called in the shapefile. And that is represented by this number right here. However, if we just had a number there, that would be a little confusing. So we want to wrap that with a string to give it more context. So here we have in the pop-up template, two properties, title and content. Right here we have title, and the title is just park name. So the field, the attribute within this field is enough information for the viewer. However, for the content part, we want to kind of nest the actual value from GIS acres within a string. So here we have a string called this. The park is blank acres, and then we use curly brackets to place the value from the shapefile in there. And then we use, so let me step back a little bit, and then ArcGIS has enough backend functionality that it kind of creates, a zoom option within this pop-up box. That's something you would have to do kind of manually within Leaflet. So, but this comes, we'll call it base. This is base ArcGIS JavaScript that enables you to select it like that. Another cool feature about this is that you can dock the pop-up box on the top right corner, which is kind of nice if you kind of want to do some panning around. That's about it. Then you have to actually add the feature to the map. So map is the variable we defined, and then we're using one of its methods called add, and we're adding the parks layer, and we're placing it at index 0, meaning it's going to be on the bottom, the most bottom part of the map. And then we finish off the document with ending the script, ending the body, and ending the HTML. And that's it.